Chapter 4. First Month's Salary. The Kamadake ran some tests for the day and went back to port where everyone was paid their first month's salary. Alan and his people checked theirs and were amazed at how much they made until they saw how much was taken out to pay their debts. What's this? We barely have anything left. Ow! What a nostalgic figure. It's the same amount as my first ever paycheck. The amount they had left equated to little more than a child's pocket money. Cohen and Barry brushed it off when they realized that their debt would be paid off in a few years with what they were making. But Alan persuaded them to call the person in charge of their pay rate. No, there's nothing I can do. Your salary will remain the same until your debt is paid off. Please, why don't you try gambling or investing your money? Maybe. Can you lend us the money for that? No. And if you call me again, I'll have you thrown in prison. Prison? We haven't done anything wrong. You idiots. This communication itself is illegal. You guys are on a communications blacklist. Don't we have a right to get paid? Your debt being paid off is your pay. If you want more, work harder and you'll get bonuses for your captures. Don't call again, goodbye. He hung up. Hey. They tried calling back, but there was no answer. NB floated up to them. Hey there, 3-idiot trio Oni-sama. I have an idea. I want to get paid too. Who are you calling a 3-idiot trio? The only idiot here is you if you think you're getting paid. Your equipment, not crew. But NB convinced them that if they could get Sana to list NB as a crew member and get him paid, then they wouldn't be the lowest ranked crew anymore, and they would have to get a raise. They ran to ask Sana, but they found Hakurin and Kariko instead. They were talking to the commander of a squad of about 10 soldiers. Alan, Barry, Cohen. You're being temporarily assigned to the army. Come with me. The commander went to Kariko and saluted. Ms. Masaki, it's an honor to meet the demon instructor in person. I will be borrowing these 3 if you don't mind. Good luck. Oh, Kariko. What took you so long? Amain asked Kariko when she came to the bridge. I sent those 3 idiots off to be re-educated, while we do maintenance. It's about time. Those 3 are as big of fools as Sirio. Oh, I heard the army guys call you the demon instructor just now. Amain smiled. Kariko turned pale. Whatever you do, don't let Sana hear that. Kariko said with a scary look on her face. Fine. I won't tell the captain, but there's no need to keep it confidential with me. We're on a mission even more confidential than what happened on the Renamiku, unless you just don't want him to remember you covered in blood. Amain smiled as she poked Kariko's buttons. Yua. Kariko had long tried to keep Sana from seeing that side of her, but he had accepted it. Since then, though, his dynamic with Kariko had been less like younger brother and more that of a normal man. Not that seeing her like that was all that led to that. Sana was her superior officer now after all. But somehow her fear of him finding out had changed into embarrassment because he knew, and it changed how she interacted with him. How cute! Amain had the urge to hug her. Kariko looked like she was about to cry. Not noticing the conflict between the two, Sana was busy in the captain's seat watching the monitor, looking at the details of his salary. Wow, my salary really is huge. His salary was exactly 3 times that of Alan's. And like Kenneth had mentioned the other day, he had various allowances that the amount didn't count towards, but Sana was just impressed that this was the first salary he had earned by himself. Kariko-san, can I consult you about something for a bit? What is it, Captain? Kariko wiped away the tears at the corner of her eye and pretended to be calm. I got my salary today. Whoa, are you going to drink to celebrate? Amain. The captain is still a minor. Well then, let's throw a dinner party. Oh, that sounds good. Hakurin, who had been a little ways away, came into the conversation circle. No, we will be doing none of that. I think you should send the excess to your parents. Would you like me to tell you what the standard monthly living expense is? Amain and Hakurin, who were a bit ashamed from that, quieted down. Oh, Kariko, is Sana's family poor? Jai Kiran asked. It makes sense if you consider Sana's abilities, Karen said as they jumped into the conversation. Hakurin, by the way, had frozen up in a thought cycle. As usual, no one even noticed swear and existed/wasn't saying anything, and when we take into account that you live in a main-sama's house and deduct living expenses. Hey now, I don't think Sana should do that. Let's take the cost of living expenses and allocate them in case of an emergency. Oh, good idea, Jaikiran. Oh, what about entertainment expenses? Well, Sena doesn't really have very many expensive hobbies. If we give him a budget, maybe he can take us out on dates. Sena is still a student and is under jurisdiction of Eri-sama, Mikami-sama, and Mitoto-sama. The only way a date will be allowed is if he is accompanied by one of those three people. That sounds worse than if he was just left to go on his own. What if it were just a trip with a close personal friend? What will he do for clothes? Chirping Sparrow. Chirping Sparrow was a line of clothes that transformed and changed color from a program's input. Sena had 2 sets. What about medical expenses? Yeah, can't forget those, Kariko. I am grateful to everyone for their concern, but, Sena said. Captain, no, Sena-chan. You don't have to worry about sending money if you don't want to. Business is going smoothly for them. I heard that from a few people, actually. I assumed as much, as it was always bustling until I came nearby. Sena hadn't contacted home for a while. Once he had called his mother, though, but she rushed through it and hung up after telling him not to call for a while. He hadn't heard from them since then. Besides, we're arranging to send part of your rewards and allowances to them, but you should at least set aside everything besides what you would normally need to have for a month, just in case. Okay, I understand. At that time, Sena remembered that his salary was 3 times that of Kenneth's. Well, I guess that's the amount I need. Kariko whispered to Sena so no one else could hear. Tenio is waiting for you as usual. Please hurry, Captain. Oh, yes. Right away, sorry. Sena hurried and had his chair take him downstairs. Wow, you almost made it sound like Sena would actually need to save money. I don't want to inform the captain. No, I do not want to inform Sena about the actual amount of his real salary. Oh, why? Is Sena the wasteful type? He's been that way since he was a child. If he knew the kind of money he had, he would blow through it in an instant. Do you know how much Sena's rewards and benefits are? Is it really that much? Well, he already makes 3 times the minimum wage. So how much is it? Oh, I see. Wow, now that I think of it, he must be loaded. Ha ha ha. Amain said, and the rest of them quickly calculated the amount in their heads and nodded as if they were convinced. By the way, Hakuran's thought loop had been stopped by Karen before this by smacking her on the head as usual. After returning to the research base, Sena received his usual physical examination before he heard from Tenio about the renovation of the Kamedake. Is the repair of the Kamedake going well? Yes, and the amount of test data we've accumulated so far is quite considerable. We have found a variety of problems. We want to test some different equipment add-ons soon as well. Different equipment. Like what? The Kamedake is made to be customized according to the situation it's going to be used for. Currently, the ship is just the basic model without any additional equipment. But even with the customization, it looks almost the same, doesn't it? Tenio said with a quick glance at Irma. But Irma did not stop her work and remained silent. Hey, Irma. Irma, are you listening? Tenio raised her voice to Irma, who had a slightly different atmosphere to her than usual that day. Oh, sorry. What were you saying just now? Never mind. There will be extensive renovations done to the Kamedake this time, so it won't be able to be flown for about a week. You and Sena should go take a vacation now. If it's all right, I'd like to stay and help you with the Kamedake's renovations. There's no need. I'll be fine doing it on my own. Besides, you need to take a break. You've seemed a bit tired the past few days. Tenio gently placed her hand on Irma's shoulder. No, that's just do it. I got an order from Eri. You're being ordered to take a break and rest. Eri said that? Well, not exactly. The Secretary General's accounting division did some looking into your work hours lately, and we got a complaint from the Labor Standards Inspection Division, so we've been ordered to give you a break. Don't worry, you're still getting paid, and we've issued you a bonus to have fun with, so feel free to splurge. Okay. Irma nodded a small nod. It was as if she didn't want to take the day off. Returning to the dormitory, Sena immediately launched the monitor and searched the net. Sena was looking for gifts for women and had a page with accessories opened. I should use part of the rest of my salary to give the people who helped me so far a gift. Master, what are you doing? Are you interested in buying something? Envy said from behind him. Oh, and B, I didn't see you there. Oh, these are for women. Are you buying these as gifts? Would you like my advice on what to buy? Well, I just got my first paycheck, so I want to give something to those who took care of me up until now. So, who will you be giving these gifts to? My family seems to be doing well enough that I don't think it will be necessary. So next is Tenchi's household. What are you thinking about getting them? Well, let's see. There's Sasami-chan and Aika-san, and while my degree of familiarity with all the people in his house is totally different from my familiarity with him, so I don't know. I don't even know most of them that well. It's a hard decision. Tenchi is a childhood friend, isn't he? Why not just give him one and everyone else a big gift that everyone can use? Well, that could work, and maybe with Kai too, but I want to give Tsukiko a proper gift too. Don't forget Kuriko. Yeah, but I want to get her something special. What about Uncle Dai? Kai's father, Dai, didn't live with Tsukiko. They weren't married or living together. Sometimes he came to see Kai, and when he came to Tsukiko's house things got rough. He had few memories of him. He was always interested in his son Kai and Kuriko, but he showed little interest in other people. And then there's the other people in Masaki village. You can also just give them a small gift and have Tsukiko give it to them. Well, I suppose you're right. Then there's a main, Elma, Hakurin-san, too. You're forgetting someone. Oh, and Ms. Sito and Minaho too. Wow, a gift for the Devil Princess of Jirai. Are you planning on spending that much? Well, she is my benefactor. Without her I wouldn't be in space. So I should do something. And what's next? Oh yeah. What about your best benefactor? The best benefactor? Oh no, I forgot Tenio. Ack. How is such an insignificant girl like her the best? Eri cried out loudly at her NB hacking terminal in the chairman's office. Mikami, who seemed curious about the situation, gently approached her from behind. If anything, I am. And I'm beautiful and have sex appeal. You. A beautiful adult with sex appeal. Eri made an irritated face close to the monitor on which Seina appeared. Oh, that's right. I have to give one to Principal Mikami. Deawawa. How thoughtful. Mikami said to Eri, who fallen down on top of her desk. What was that about NB? Oh, nothing. You're a weird fellow. Are you broken? No, I'm fine. Are you sure you're not forgetting someone? Someone young and pretty? I already got Mikami. Who else could it be? Think harder. Eri took control of NB and shouted. No, that's everyone. NB, can you show the list to me? A monitor launched with the names. A gift for Tenchi's house, Kai and Uncle Dai. Aunt Tsukiko and Kuriko, Amain, Irma, Hakurin, Ms. Jaikurin, Karen. Oh, Sueron. God damn it. Why can you remember that thin-shadowed woman and not me? Eri yelled. It carried over to the NB. Huh? NB, do you want a gift too? Check the list again. What? Why are you mad? Sito-sama, Minaho, and Tenio. Principal Mikami. Ohaha. I hope he gets me something nice that I can show off. Mikami smiled at Eri to boast. No, that's not it either. Oh! I forgot Matoto. Come on. Oh, and Mr. Ananin and Minami too. Are you sure they want these kinds of accessories? I'm not limited to just getting accessories, NB. Oh! Good. Then who's next? You're acting really weird today. Maybe I should do this on my own. Oh, am I? I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Are you sure, NB? Yes, of course. By the way, you forgot Eri-san. You should get her something extra nice for a woman as extra beautiful as her, don't you think? NB nudged Seina. Seina looked at the NB in a puzzled manner. She sure did program you weirdly. I'm only stating the facts objectively. I admit she's beautiful, but her personality ruins it. I know she's Minaho's mother, but Minaho is definitely more like her father. What? What do you mean? Tenchi-senpai's grandfather is very plain and calm, and a gentle person. Aunt Kion and Tenio were both gentle and kind people too. God damn it. Did he just say both Kion and Tenio are better than me? Eri brought her face close to the monitor and desperately defended herself. You bastard. Don't say bad things about people. Tenio isn't that great. Have you ever even met Kion? She was awful. Way worse than Eri. Wow, she sure put some dubious information in you. Makes sense. She is a very troubled person. Next time I talk to Irma, I'll have her delete it. Giggle giggle. Eri looked like she was about to explode. Mikami had gathered Eri's secretaries behind her to watch, and they were struggling to hold in their laughter. Sure, but certainly you must be indebted to her a lot. You should give her presents too. Huh? Why? Envy looked hard at Sana. If you don't, you never know what she might do. Envy said. Sana laughed. I suppose you're right. She's like the witch in Sleeping Beauty. She would try and cast a plague on all of us just for not including her. That's a terrible thing to say about Miss Eri. I guess you're right. Sana thought about what kind of response Eri would have. Eri is more like a witch who'd force you to invite her to your birthday party, and then she would eat all the food and leave scraps everywhere, and she would drink the liquor and spike all the punch and then throw a tantrum, making everyone irritated. And then she would pass out on the floor drunk, ha ha ha. To Sana's way too precise analogy, the secretaries behind Eri had fallen on the floor laughing. What? How am I? I can't believe he said such a thing. Unfortunately, Eri was not confident enough to deny it. I'm not even sure I want him to get me anything anymore. Eri murmured and slumped down in her chair. But what should I give to Eri? Give her this. An image of a ring with glowing jewelry appeared on the screen. The price displayed there was an amount for which a large house could be built. It would take decades to finish paying that off. I'm going to search for myself. Sana turned away from NB and began investigating. NB suddenly became silent and gazed at the back of Sana's head for a while. Sorry, I forgot something important. Master. Are you malfunctioning? I need something when you go shopping. Please buy these. What is this? Sana turned pale reading the list of things NB displayed. There were only a few items displayed there. They were also very expensive. That wasn't the issue though. Why do I have to buy something like that? It's a gift for Kariko. Just do it here, I'll buy it for you. Just do it or else. What is wrong with you? Why is my equipment threatening me? I don't get this crazy space technology. It will impress the girls. They'll be relieved. I've already transferred the money. Go pick it up. Where did you get that kind of money? How? You didn't do anything strange, did you? It can't be refunded, so what are you going to do? Fine. Good reply. I'm sure it will make them very happy. Now what am I going to buy for the rest of them? My remaining budget is so small. Well, facing challenges is just one of the pleasures of life. Ha ha ha. Suddenly the laugh of envy ceased and it became silent. What's wrong? Hello, Master. May I help you with something? Envy suddenly changed its personality and now had a delicate tone. Master, have you found something to buy yet? Did you forget? I have been feeling off today. Maybe you should run maintenance on me. Sana, it's about time for dinner. Kariko called from a monitor. Oh, right. I'm on my way now. He saved the list and stood up. Sana descended to the first floor of the dormitory by elevator and met up with Kariko, who was waiting at the entrance in front of him. The first floor was also a small leisure facility with a restaurant, a large public bath, fitness, and entertainment facilities. It was a place used by ordinary citizens as well as residents of the GP lodgings. As a result, many people should have been oohing and awing at the prominently featured Kariko, but despite there being a lot of people, they diverted their eyes from Kariko and remained quiet. Oh, hi there. Oh, is that you, Sana? Eri said after waltzing in and shaking hands with a coworker who was resting nearby. Thank you for waiting for me. Well then, let's go. Eri grabbed Sana and made a dash to the dining room. Hey, Eri, you don't have to hurry. I'm hungry. Eri sat Sana down and began to hand out giant buffet-style dishes. There were dozens of them. Wow! Sana gazed at the situation quietly. The dishes were ordered beautifully and arranged so that the tastes didn't mix poorly. Just what I would expect from the owner of Nashisu, Kariko said. Eri prepared dishes and drinks in a short amount of time and walked toward the terrace. In here? Hurry up! Eri rushed to Sana and started putting dishes out. The terrace was still sparse and was quite empty. As soon as Eri sat down, it was time to eat. This is so good. So, Sena, what are you planning to buy with your first month's salary? Eri asked. Well, I set aside money for my living expenses and the rest is just savings. Yeah, seriously though. Payday. You have to treat yourself right. What are you getting? My reward for myself is getting a salary, and the luxury is my life since I came to the academy. Good, Sena-chan. You should save your money. Good. A man mustn't worry about wasting money. The more you use the money, the more it will come in. Sena, don't listen to the lies coming from that demon's mouth. Who are you calling a demon, little girl? Saving money is just common sense. Only a demon would say otherwise. Kariko said. Most people there nodded. But Jayakiran had closed her eyes and was drinking tea. Eri noticed. Jayakiran-chan, you're an adult like me. Jayakiran-chan, you know. Eri said. I do not know if Eri's words are correct, but... Yes. If Sena is financially ruined, I will provide for him and feed him. Sena turned red and looked at Jayakiran, who was serious. Damn. Wow. She just used me to flirt with you. Sena, be careful. That girl is the real devil. Eri shoved dessert in her face and washed it down with tea. Eri's eyes had tears spreading down them, probably because she was so frustrated that the conversation hadn't gone her way. God damn it. Eri ate the rest of the desserts and grabbed some plates and went home, where she began to eat those dishes with great momentum. Well then, hey Sena, did you hear about Sirio? Amain said with a loud voice to break the awkwardness of what just happened. No. I totally forgot about him. Kariko said. He's going to be a prisoner forever because of how high the pirates set his ransom. Aren't the tenants rich? His father is notoriously cheap. They cut him off the second he tried to haggle down the ransom. Ahahaha. I hope he gets back soon. Don't waste your time worrying about him. I'm sure he will make a fine space pirate. I look forward to arresting him with the Kamedake. No way that would ever happen, Kariko laughed. Irma just stared at Sena with a sad expression. Sirio was in the prison of the Daruma Guild's headquarters, the Big Daruma. In the block under the jurisdiction of Terrent Shank, the place where the hostages that he kidnapped were held. I can't believe I'm being held in such a dump. Sirio shouldn't have known where he was. But because of his nanomachines, which were able to scan the area, he knew exactly where he was. They hadn't deactivated his nanomachines because they were the latest tech and didn't have scanners to detect them. It would have been easy for him to escape. But Sirio was stupid. When will I be released? But he didn't think to escape, he just thought of how bored he was. I bet the ransom for me is enormous, ha. Hey, where did she go? Sirio noticed that the woman in the solitary cell across from him was suddenly gone. How? Was she safely released? Most of the cells that surrounded Sirio were filled with hostages for ransom purposes. And they were released once negotiations were over. There were a few dozen people. What? At that time, one of his nanoprobes found a cleverly hidden block in that cell. And in the room behind the block, it discovered many male and female carcasses which had been brutally maimed. What is that all about? Sirio frowned. He nearly puked. What is this? As his nanoprobe ran away from that room, it moved through the block and found a lavishly decorated room, obviously different from the other rooms, with a young man and his adjutant. That's Terrent Shank. Terrent had finished taking a shower and was lying on the sofa with his waist wrapped with a bath towel. Casts and seals for body regeneration were affixed all over his body. Mr. Terrent, the adjustment of the replacement deadless core to the new hull has been completed. Good. What's the status of getting rid of that phantom from our computer systems? Thanks to Huabalta's team, we've successfully cleared it out from 60% of our systems. Oh, good. As soon as the phantom extermination has been completed, let me know. Yes, sir. How about Irma? She hasn't made her move yet. The Kamedake is stuck at the academy for now. She will probably do it tomorrow. You look good. It was Kamachi's voice that pulled Sirio's consciousness back. What are you doing? I feel sick. Don't talk to me. Tell that to your father. I can't believe he's left me to rot here. Kamachi put up a secret wall. This was a block under the jurisdiction of Tarrant, but Sirio hacked it and took it under control. They had it installed for having conversations with prisoners they didn't want overheard by others. Tarrant is in a room behind one of the cells. He uses it to drag people in and, it's disgusting. I don't want to remember. A camouflaged room. Wait a moment. Where are you? I have no idea. Are you with the rest of Tarrant's hostages? I think so. I was talking to one of them when they disappeared. That's how I found it. Ha 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 ha. Why didn't he find it with his nanomachines? They should have found that room when they did their survey. But he didn't even notice. Why is he bragging about being an idiot? Kamachi thought. Sirio, do you know where this place is? I am not interested in that. What? I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'll be scolded if I interfere with my father's negotiations. There's no reason for them to let him haggle down the ransom for you. Ha ha ha. Buy goods as cheap as possible, that is the golden rule of business. So he doesn't realize he is on the big Daruma. But his story gives me an idea. Kamachi ran to the bridge. Did you find it? Kamachi was asked as she rushed onto the bridge. Yes, there is a camouflaged room after all. It was well hidden. Is that so? Then what he said was true. Kamachi felt a complicated feeling about that. What he said was true. Then there is no room for doubt about his abilities, but he doesn't know he's on the big Daruma. No, he just wasn't interested in knowing or in finding that hidden place initially. But he found it once he did. I see why he got as far as he did in the GP now. Then Kamachi thought about Sirio's past behavior and his father who was trying to haggle his son's ransom. Maybe he's just stupid, she said out loud near an operator. Kamachi-sama, the hostage that was gone a while ago is back. What? Kamachi approached the surveillance monitor. I guess their ransom must have been paid. In that case, they'll be returned to their family soon. Is that so? Do you know where the hostages are? Everyone is in this block. Everyone? What a coincidence. No, it can't be that. What? Did you realize something? Instead of answering the operator, Kamachi thought. He must have that room so he can torture and kill hostages and bring them back over and over again while they wait on the ransom. Anything done to someone from the academy can be excused. But he built an unauthorized facility in the big Daruma. Even if they didn't manage to get Ryoko's crew's family members away, it was something that could deprive Tarrant of power and launch an investigation against him. But he's using this to make sure Yamada is assassinated. They're not going to do anything. She knew the guild would let Tarrant slide on this unless he was taking direct actions against the guild. Let's keep on looking at things for a while. Please continue to investigate. Roger that.